In this video, I'm going to talk about the current state of the crypto markets. I speak about this with a heavy heart, and I'm not talking about utility assets, but the overall state of the crypto markets. We're also going to watch some of the most important clips of the week with updates about the Clarity Act, what's happening behind the scenes, and what I expect to happen in the crypto markets in the next 12 months. But what I really wanted to begin with is that the event that took place in the 10th of October, the largest liquidation event in history of crypto, this has significantly changed the crypto markets. I'm about to read a note that I put on my Substack yesterday just before I went to sleep. So this is a code analysis of the current state of the crypto markets. This is the worst sentiment I have ever seen in all my years in the crypto markets. The 10 October event changed the markets forever, and today there is virtually no narrative left for BTC and the vast majority of cryptocurrencies without intrinsic value. The Trump family's exploitation of the crypto industry combined with endless market makers manipulation has turned the trenches into an obvious wealth extraction machine. At this point, I believe you watching this video have realized that most cryptocurrency content creators are basically losing faith on the ecosystem. I mean, leaving aside the utility assets and assets endorsed by major financial institutions, what is left to talk about in the crypto space? NFTs are gone a long time ago. Most cryptocurrencies are sitting below bear market levels, and even meme coins completely disappeared. And with BTC trading very close to a critical support level on the chart at $59,000, eventually losing this level could be the end of the crypto markets as we know. And I talk this with a heavy heart because I know thousands of people are losing faith on the ecosystem. And I have an important message for you. If you are watching this video, if you are an XRP holder, make sure you stay to the end of this video. So here I wrote, you can see it yourself, even many content creators can no longer keep up because they have lost faith in the ecosystem. And here is where it enters a paradox in the entire crypto space. At the same time, institutions are accelerating. Banks, payment providers, and governments aren't building on thousands on speculative tokens. They are tokenizing real-world assets, developing regulated infrastructure, and consolidating around a small number of networks that actually solve real problems. And as this process consolidates, capital will become increasingly concentrated in a handful of utility-driven projects, while the rest of the crypto market slowly crumbles.
Tokenization.
Tokenization. Tokenization.
Quickly, we're going to tokenize every financial asset.
I think the movement towards tokenization is necessary. I think we need to move very rapidly to doing that. We would be reducing fees. We would do more democratization by reducing more fees if we had all investments on a tokenized platform that you could move from a tokenized money market fund to equities and bonds and back and forth.
You know, I do think the first poster child of tokenization is really stable coins. You saw, as Brian observed, massive growth last year. At Ripple, we very much focused on building the bridges between traditional finance, as Bill was describing, what we now call TradFi, and decentralized finance. And that has meant working with a lot of the banks around the world to kind of build those bridges.
I think tokenization is a huge one. I'm talking with probably a dozen governments about tokenizing some of their assets, because this way the government can actually realize the financial gains first and use that to develop those industries, extractions, trading markets, etc.
And I still believe there is going to be a final Black Swan event that's going to shake hands and is going to wipe out 99% of the crypto industry. And here comes the paradox. Although I still expect a major Black Swan event to clean up the crypto industry of what is left of speculation, I truly believe this is the worst moment to be selling your utility assets. Because this is simply how the game is designed. When everyone loses faith on the ecosystem, that's usually when price finally takes off. And I have seen it in the past over and over in the crypto space. Usually when everyone is quitting and everyone is selling their positions, that's when the magic happens. But unfortunately, this time the magic won't happen for BTC and assets that survive merely on speculation. I even believe that the liquidity sitting on the ERC20 ecosystem is going to leave Ethereum at record speed and migrate towards utility assets like XRP, XLM, HBAR, and others.
Well, XRP, and I sometimes have to remind the world of this, but XRP is at the heart and soul of what Ripple is doing. We care deeply. We have called it our North Star. But at the end of the day, we want to do things that are good for the XRP ecosystem. We want to build trust in XRP. We want to build utility in XRP. And we want to build liquidity in XRP. And each of the acquisitions we do, in one way or another, we believe it will do those things. Now, it may not be, some people may look at it and be like, I don't really, scratch their head a little bit. Well, I promise you that we see in the three-dimensional game of chess, we see how we believe that's going to evolve. Sometimes we'll probably do things that are more obvious and some less obvious. That's okay with us.
Right. There might be.
One of the advantages of being private is I don't always have to explain myself to public investors.
So here's my final message for you, especially if you hold XRP. I understand times are hard. You might be losing faith on the ecosystem, but I promise you, this is the worst time to quit. You don't run a marathon to quit on the final mile. Because I understand the cost of living is through the roof, inflation is eating your savings, and the last months on the crypto space have been completely disappointing. But although price action has been disappointing, the fundamentals are through the roof. BlackRock and Grayscale, all they talk about is tokenization of real-world assets. There is one blockchain with extremely low transaction fees that is chosen by central banks and financial institutions around the world. So from my view, I think this is the worst time to quit holding XRP. It's not a financial advice. Let me know if you are one of the real ones that watch the videos until the end. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to see you in the next video.